say hope begins in the dark, but most just flail around in the blackness, searching for their destiny. The darkness, for me, is where I shine.
What's up, gamers? OldSkoolFool here, and today we're bringing you a review of Chronicles of Riddick: Dark Athena for Xbox 360 and PS3. The Chronicles of Riddick was an original exclusive title that was only available on the original Xbox. Let it be known that these games have nothing to do with the storylines from any of the live-action movies, including Pitch Black and, of course, aptly named The Chronicles of Riddick also, was the sequel. These games are side stories in which more than Riddick's badass, troublesome, and smug attitude get him involved in adventures to stay alive and avoid a lifetime of imprisonment. It just so happens that Atari has graced us and decided to include the original Escape from Butcher Bay that was on the Xbox as an included game for both the PS3 and the 360. So fans of both consoles, it's a plus for.
Like pain?
As we open up, the story unfolds as Riddick eludes Butcher Bay and gets into an escape craft to start his little stasis sleep, and then becomes startled awake during a slight wrong turn somewhere in which he has no control over in a big open cosmos by a meteor-ridden area, just of course to be confronted by another gotta escape scenario when his escape ship is tractored in by this monstrosity of a mother prison ship run by these badass mercenaries.
Johns. Should have cracked the hull and watched him vomit lungs.
Aw, Spinner, hon, you got a thick skull sometimes, don't you? John's a merc just like you and me, and when a merc turns into a most wanted, the price shoots sky high.
Now let's start out by saying that this story is very typical, yet the cinematics are definitely in place to entertain. Alongside some really good voice acting, this story pulls it together for the sequel. Some of the cutscenes to in-gameplay modes are extremely fluid and really deliver an immersive experience to play as Riddick. Now, however, as you know, that this is only a portion of the game. Let's continue onwards towards gameplay. Riddick is a very unique, well-storied character, and is kind of lame in his ability to attack. Basically, the whole game is played in a first-person perspective, and honestly, for me at times, should have really been an option for a third-person or over-the-shoulder switch-out, because the lack of play control and distance judgment between Riddick and the enemies is just downright awful. Let me say that the controls are alright, but nothing superb. You'll notice very quickly that this game plays like an evolved version of like Doom on graphical crack. Even on stealth attacks, when you're right up behind the enemy and with one hit should have clipped him, 50% of the time, it's not even detected. He just kind of punches him out, turns around, and now alerts all his friends, or obviously other enemies, or whatever have you, during whatever stage you're on. At times, there is no real strategy to fighting, and the brainless characters that go to hand-to-hand with you. The one very cool mode, I must admit, is Riddick's Darkstalking, which was in place in the first one. The moves were heavily gunned areas to become an interesting hunting ground, where magically all these retardo enemies that have been stated before with guns become super effective at finding you. So you can hide behind something, sneak up, either go for a 50-50 chance of getting a one-hit kill, or them alerting other guards and taking you out, magically being able to see in a total darkness, even though they couldn't see before. So his cool hunting tactics are very cool to look at and play as, but sometimes are very ineffective.
Come back! I'll put some holes in you!
On to Riddick's gunplay. Riddick's gunplay is lackluster and totally unintelligent and sometimes just downright pointless, since hiding and rushing proves more effective at times for me. Let's also mention the fact that absolutely no one on-screen or off-screen map is even available. So if you weren't playing this game for a full 30 minutes straight and pulling a full amount of attention span towards it, then finding your next important point of interest is totally non-existent concept for you. I mean, the only map they give you is this, like, mall-style map when you walk into some random room somewhere, and it's placed at some, like, pointless place in the game where it says, it doesn't even say you are here, just like a bright spot, and it's not conducive whatsoever to really guiding you through your mission at all. Due to Riddick's boring fights, except when, of course, the cool battle music kicks in, it tends to drag out, especially with a lot of pointless side quests and aimless talking to inmates and ship stragglers. Though I must say that the acting and realism of these conversations are very entertaining to listen to and watch. Kind of like this.
I can give you the code, but first you gotta do something for me. There's a guy named Margot. Now, Margot is a shit-eating motherfucking son of a bitch who gets a kick out of backstabbing his friends. I want him dead, Riddick.
But does that really make the game at this point? And what real differences are there in the two versions of this game, if any? The PS3 did seem slightly more sharper at times due to the lighting effects, but overall, it's really not a big deal for me. I mean, people who are real sticklers for this type of stuff, they'll know it's a slight difference. Honestly, I really didn't see a big difference other than the lighting effects at times. Though both versions of the game, you can control the gamma and the lighting functions. So if that was a big deal for your TV, this game's obviously set in a lot of dark areas, then of course you can adjust it yourself accordingly. But what else redeems Riddick at this point? Well, you have 2 full games. One redone just about perfect for both new systems. Some good acting, and perhaps a reason that keeps the cult series alive. What keeps Riddick off my full-price game shelf? Well, the straightforward exploration and somewhat linear scenario, bad attack gameplay, and me not having my own pair of eyes that can see in the dark to look past some of these issues. I like Riddick, don't get me wrong, but I don't love Riddick. So, I'm going to give this game a 70% and a 3 Lonnie face. So if you're looking for a decent story and solid graphics, then it's here. But don't expect a non-stop tough guy action because you're barking in the dark. For more cool games and news, don't forget to visit VideoGameCentral.com and The Gamer's Voice. And to hit the subscribe button. Yes, it's to your right, or underneath, or somewhere on this page. Well, I'm OldSkoolFool. Thanks for watching, and talk to you guys next time.
My skin's always been the best armor, but I'm not one to turn down an upgrade.
You just crossed the fucking line, Riddick. Now I'm gonna pull your entrails out your ass!